Hi everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and I'm finally back. I was gone to Kansas City for a few days, and here I am back, getting ready to work on the Matthew journal. Today I'm going to do this 4-flap box fold. That's what I call it. And so the other day I cut a page out and I didn't pay attention to which page it was on. But these pieces are on the page. So if you're looking for your pages, it's got these things on it. And then you want page 7 and page 6 of the add-on kit. So this was probably either page 5 or page 8 of the add-on kit. And so I've got these cut out. I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting out. And I'm going to go ahead and ink with my vintage photo. And then I will come back. Okay, I've got everything inked. And I got my scoreboard out here, scoring board, because I want to do the folds on this piece. So line that up. As I've mentioned before, I went a long time without a scoring board, and I thought, oh, I don't need that. I have to say it's really one of my favorite things I have for an art supply. It really makes a difference on the folds being nice and the effort you have to put to get a nice fold. So I'm going to fold that both directions. So let me move this. So the way these work, you've got these flaps here, and then you've got these flaps that go on the other side. Or let me show you. So this can go here and here. And then we're going to tape that and we're going to flip it over, and then these can all go on the other side. Or if you want to mix it up, you could put the two of this pattern here and here, and then flip it over and do that. And I think I'm going to do that just for fun. I think I'm going to do it that way. So now what I need is I need some washi tape or even a little strips of cloth or something to attach these flaps. And I think I'm going to use my Tim Holtz fabric tape. I love this. It's so great. And I'm going to get my Bearly Art glue, which I don't have the tip on yet. And boy, I've come to really appreciate this glue and also art glitter glue. I think I've said it before on the other videos, but I've been using Elmer's glue with this class I'm doing, and oh brother, it doesn't work at all. So well worth the money to pay for the art glue. Okay, so, and you know, you always put glue with tape, any tape, because it's not archival and it will eventually stop sticking. And then there you'll be with pieces and parts that are coming apart on your journals, or the people you give them to will have them coming apart. So it's worth the money to get the good glue. Not to mention the time it takes to dry. Oh my goodness, that Elmer's glue was like forever. This is the Bearly Art glue. It has a tip that's finer than that. And I think I'm just being lazy by not putting it on right now. It also gets clogged easier, so I'm kind of just going with the easiest one right now. Gluing that on, and you'll see that it's a little bit short each way. That's intentional so that it folds easier. And let's see, where's a little piece for up here. And put some glue here. And peel the paper off of this. I need to go out and see if he's got any other cloth tapes. I've got 2 of them. I think that's all he ever made, but I sure like it. I wish they'd put some more out. Okay. All right, so there's those. Now you're going to flip it over and you're going to just glue these. And let me think for a minute now. The way I had this, so what's going to happen, you want to pay attention, and actually you're going to want to put this, if you do it this way, you're going to want this to be upside down so that when you flip it over and fold it up, the Matthew will be readable. Now if you put it on the other side, it'll be just the opposite. You want the Matthew at the top where you can read it so that when you unfold it, it's readable. If you do that though, that'll work because you'll have a pocket at the bottom. Yeah, so those are your two options. So I'm going to go ahead. I know that probably didn't make any sense. Just trust me, if you put the Matthew on the other side, put it at the top. You will thank me later. Okay, and then you want to make sure whatever you do to kind of keep it away from the fold. Don't go over the fold because it will not be a good thing when you try to fold it up. And these are so cool if you stitch them. I may or may not do that, but if you take them to the sewing machine and just run a stitch, no matter if you're a good seamstress or not, even messy stitches look cool. So if you don't have a sewing machine, you might look in the thrift stores for one secondhand, and stitching really adds a lot, I think. So I just came back from Kansas City, as I said. My friend that I've known since I was 4 years old, and my best friend all through school and everything was there. She lives in Europe. She was in Belgium. She retired, and she was military, and she's retired to Italy. And sounds like she lives in a beautiful area right by the ocean. So she comes home every year or two, usually. And I went up to visit her. It's about 4 hours from here. And I got to see a bunch of my other classmates, which was really, really fun. And it's just funny, you can't replace those kind of people that you've known and has known you since you're 4 years old. And or you know, a couple of the girls, I think I knew them since like 6th grade. And you know, you can't ever have friends like that. You either have them or you don't. And I'm just so grateful that we still connect and have fun. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over. And don't worry if there's any white edges showing. So you want to make sure that your flaps still fold in, especially on those two right there. And now I'm going to go ahead and glue these little pockets on. So this will go here, this will go here, and these, I have the curved edges, so they go on the outside like that. And watch, be super careful. So you're going to do the 3 sides because it's a pocket. So this one opens up. So I'm going to make sure I fold this up so it doesn't hinder any folding that's going to happen. And that way, when it opens up, you'll have the pocket just like that. And then these 3 sides. And so the verse, of course, for the middle of this is the Lord's Prayer, because it's the only gospel that has the Lord's Prayer, is the book of Matthew. So I thought, well, that's the perfect one to highlight. And we'll come back later and put some little cards and things, tuck those in these pockets after we're closer to the end of this. There's a rhyme I always remember from grade school, and it said, make new friends but keep the old. One is silver, the other gold. And I think that is just so true. this one then. And you know, we left Kansas City, we moved down here to Arkansas, and I had to start all over again, making friends. And of course, the best way to do that is either have kids in school, apparently, which I did not have, or go to a church where, you know, it's a great church and you can meet people and do things with people, and that's what I've done. And I'm in a really great church right now that has a great program that's called Connect Groups, where anybody can have a Connect group on any subject, as long as it's in some way related to, you know, Christianity. So we have, like, I have one for swimming, because I have a swimming pool in the summer, and we pray for each other, and, you know, there's that Christian element to it. And then some of them have fishing and bowling and things like that, but some of them are Bible studies. So I keep joining them. It's like I can't quit joining them. So I have several of them that are Bible studies, and they switch out 3 times a year, and it's just great. Do I want this on this? Yeah, I might as well. Do I? Wait a minute. Let me look at my other cloth tape. Actually, these colors go with that really well. Maybe I'll use this. Yeah, good idea. Okay. And even though I don't need to put tape on these, and actually, I could just put it on these two. I think I will. I think I'll just put some tape. It's kind of overkill if I do all of them, maybe. Maybe not, but sorry, talking to myself, making those decisions. You're probably doing the same thing. I don't know if you talk to yourself, but oh yeah, this love these colors with this. Okay. So while I was in Kansas City, I stayed with my really good friend Ann Adams, and she has gotten really interested in junk journaling, and she's a great artist, and so I was having a great time seeing all the things she's been working on, and it really inspired me. I got really excited all over again to do junk journaling and to do some new products for my Etsy shop, and there's just not enough hours in the day to do everything I want to do. So okay, got that all done. And so now all you have to do, you're done. You just have to touch the edges up with your Distress ink, and then you'll want to, of course, fold it, make sure it folds the way you want it to. You can either trim these little extra edges off, or you can just ink them and they will disappear. And I like it when it's a little bit irregular. That's just me. But you can trim it with scissors if you want it to be perfect. And then look on the other side and see what needs to get retouched, if there's any white flashes. And then we're going to fold it. That's the real test. And don't feel scared to trim these up however you need to make them fold well. And then you just fold it like a box, so however you want it to show. And then this side you're just going to tuck it in. Like that. And like I said, see how it's not wanting to lay like I want it to lay. So let me try. Let me try folding it. Oh, that's it. You want to go around and see where the binding is. And I see right there, I got that pocket a little close. So I'm just going to go in and trim the edge of that just a little bit. That's why I said you don't want to get it too close to the fold, because that's what happens. So let's see. See if it wants to fold this direction any better. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's a little tight right here. And so it's what's happened is these are just, these little flaps are too close to each other. So I'm just going to trim these back slightly, just barely. And that will give them a little more room when they meet in the middle. See if I don't know if I need to trim them both. Let's see. This one and that one, see, that one's binding right there just a little bit too. So I'm going to trim that up all the way around. And just make sure everything lays. Let's see, is that binding? Not too bad. That's the way it's supposed to lay. So just a little bit of trimming here and there, and it will lay flat for you. And you get to fold it however you want, so that whatever you like shows. And then when you open it up, you'll have these pockets with little ephemera stuck into them. And then you glue this into, you fold it up, you just glue this onto a page in your journal. I probably ought to let this glue dry completely all the way, but you just put glue on this and glue it into the journal like that. So there is that. And then the other thing I was going to do today is I cut a bunch of pieces up. So we did the envelopes the other day, and we did these the other day. And I went ahead and cut, there's 2 pockets, and these will go on a page together with the little stringed closures. So just hold on to those for a little bit longer. But we also have the tags, and I think I'm going to go ahead and glue these together and just make 5 tags. I told you the other day you could just leave them apart and have 10 tags. That's up to you. I like them to be, I don't know, I like that kind of a substantial tag that you get when you glue 2 pieces together. Okay, those are all fitting together, so I'm just going to glue those real quick. Anne made a journal for her granddaughter for her birthday, and I loved it so much. It had hardly anything in it, so it takes great restraint, but it had a lot of blank pages, and it was a different format, different size, and I just thought that was great. And you know, when you're giving somebody a gift, some people want that writing room, like a lot of writing room, like mainly writing room. And so seeing one done like that just really inspired me, and so I'm going to do one of those here before too long. Less is more journal, which doesn't sound like our typical junk journals, but it was really nice. And I think her granddaughter would appreciate it because she's only 13. And you know, sometimes the kids don't really appreciate our vintagey looking junk journals that we make. These are cute too if you stitch them. Of course, everything's cute if you stitch it, right? It's just taking that time over at the sewing machine. I'm always glad when I do it, but sometimes I don't make myself get up and go over there. But boy, when I do, I'm like, yay. Ooh, the other thing I did is I went to a fabric store. I was looking for some Tim Holtz fabric. And this one shop on the way to Kansas City has a lot of, it's a quilt shop. And they had some the last time I went there. Well, they didn't have any Tim Holtz, but they were having a sale on their fat quarters. And I do use fabric in my journals, and I do use them like for the covers and this and that. And it's just like a candy store. And they had this tub of remnants and scraps, and for $5 you could fill this great big Ziploc bag of scraps. And I'll show you what I do with them. I've just got a little bitty piece left now, but it's a snippet roll. And so I keep all my little bitty fabric pieces, and then I take a strip of fabric, and you just go over to the sewing machine and you just start to lay them down and run it through the under the needle and stitch it, and it creates this. And then you cut a piece the length of your page, and you can glue it on the edge of a page in your journal. I think it looks really cool. So I got a bag of scraps just because it gives you a lot of variety in your in your strip. Okay, so I've got these. Now I'm going to ink them, and everybody gets to ink the way they want to. Some people like very minimal ink. Some people like a lot of ink. I tend to use a lot of ink, more than most probably, but I enjoy it. And I haven't mastered the Tim Holtz technique where he lays it flat and he kind of goes like this. Every time I do that, I get these circles and they look ugly. And so I've just given up on that, and I just hold it up in the air and hit the edge at an angle, and I get the best results doing it that way. So, and you know, these aren't lined up perfectly, and so this also just disguises any flashes of white paper where you didn't quite get it lined up. Okay, got those inked. So now I'm going to go get my hole punch, and I've got my circle stickers. Okay, my little reinforcement labels from Walmart, and I take them and use my distress inks and make different colors. And so let's see, probably maybe that color. And I just eyeball it and punch a hole. And I'll go ahead and use the same color on the other side. And maybe green for that one. Well, there's kind of a blue there. There's kind of a pink. I think I'll do the pink. Okay. All right. There's blue. I don't know how blue looks with that. That's a kind of a dirty blue, and this is a clean blue, so I think I'll stick with the orangey red colors. All right. And as I always say when I do these, this is one of my favorite things to do. I don't know why. I love it. Punching the holes, putting these little stickers on, putting the ribbons through them. I just love it. Use one of these dark red ones. And then one more. Okay. Do I have a green that goes with that? Maybe. Okay. And then I need to get my ribbon out and decide what colors I want to put. And I've got the, whoops, let's see. Some of these dark reds maybe. That one can be green. Yeah, I think that one will look good with this one. Okay, so just okay, that looks really good with that. Okay, and then wish I had a dirty blue. Do I have a dirty blue? I don't think I do. Well, maybe I do. Does that sort of... Actually, that looks more faded. It's probably closer. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Okay. And, oh, that one I thought green, right? And I've got kind of an olivey. Well, I'm going to use that. I don't know if that's the best one, but one of my favorite colors, I would say. Kind of saturated olive green. Actually, probably the best one for that. It's more saturated. Okay, is that it? Okay, I think that's it. Okay, so we've got our tags and we have our 4-flap box fold for today. So I think I'm going to stop, and I actually think I'm going to go over and I think I will do some stitching around this. So I'll do that and then I'll come back and let you see how that looks. Okay, here it is. I've got the stitching. It looks better on this side than it does on the other side. It looks like the tension might have been not quite right, but it's still cute, I think. And anytime you stitch, and I even left the turquoise thread in. Usually I use either black or white, but I thought, you know what, it's got the colors in it, I'm just going to leave the turquoise thread in it. So that's how it turned out. So let me get this thing folded back up. I fold it different every time, I think, but as long as it lays. Now see it, depending, well, when I glue it down, I think it'll be okay because it'll be flat on the back and straighten that out. So anyway, there that is. And then I grabbed the bag of scraps just to show you the shopping trip. So this bag was $5. And it's just random scraps, but I thought that would be, and then I'll show you the other ones I got. I got some really pretty ones. And these can all be either pages in a journal. I like to take that fusion material and put 2 fabrics together and make a double spread of fabric, and then use those, sorry for all the rattling, use those for pages. And then you can do a slow stitching on them or sew buttons on them or a lot of things like that. So anyway, that's my haul from the KC fabric store that I went to. All right, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.